These headlight pods on an Aston Martin DB9 cost $1,700 to replace. The sun and road debris are trying to kill them. Learn how to spend 50 bucks to protect them. The Aston Martin DB9 has a gorgeous front end, and the headlight pods are a big part of it. We spend tons of time polishing the paint, putting wax on and things to protect the color, but we don't do hardly anything for these plastic headlight covers. Now these are just made out of polycarbonate, and the sun is trying to fade them out, turn them yellow like you see on any production car. Road debris is trying to bounce up and chip it and scratch it. So I'm worried, since my DB9 is a daily driver. I'm out in California sunlight and out on the high freeways every day. So what can I do to protect these? The trick is to do something about it before the damage occurs. I have a couple of other vehicles, a VW GTI and a BMW Mini Cooper, and you basically put on a layer of clear bra paint protective film. So I've done this before, and there's different qualities of clear bra material out there. I use one from 3M called Scotchgard, and basically you buy a kit, and I bought my kits from a company called invisiblemask.com, and the link will be in my companion blog article. So basically you buy the kit, it's all laser cut, so it's perfectly sized for your headlight pod. And then you can do basically a real do-it-yourself procedure to basically apply the film to the headlight pod itself. Now the film is stretchy, and it's really it's clear and it's strong. So basically, anything that's going to scratch it will just get deflected away, or the paint protective film will take the scratch. It has a UV inhibitor in it, which will stop the sunlight from deteriorating the plastic and getting that yellow milky look to it. So these things are, putting on a piece of clear bra material is a great way to protect your headlight pods. So I ordered a 2005 Aston Martin DB9 Coupe headlight kit from invisiblemask.com. It came about a week later in the post, and it cost me a grand total of $55 US. Pretty cheap protection. So let's figure out how to get it installed. Installing the kit's a pretty easy process, and they include some instructions in the package with it. There's some online YouTube videos that they publish as well, but I'm going to show you my tips and tricks for how to do it. One of the tips though is definitely try and do it on a warm day or in a warm garage. Right now it's a nice 70-degree day here, but in the video clip you're going to see coming up, I shot it actually when it was about 50 degrees out. So it's a little bit more work to do it when it's cold out. So if you can time it for when it's a nice warm day, that'd be great. You want the car to be warm, and you want the actual film to be kind of warm, just room temperature. The overall process will take just about an hour to complete from start to finish. Parts and tools to install the clear bra on the headlight covers are pretty minimal. It's the same almost as doing any paint protection film install. We need a bottle with alcohol solution that's mixed up properly. The ratio is 4 ounces of 70% isopropyl alcohol to 24 ounces of distilled H2O. So I bought this bottle from online on Amazon from Chemical Guys or McGuire's. But anyways, it has measurements on the side, so I filled it with alcohol to the 4-ounce level, and then as it turns out, just top it up to here is the other 24 additional ounces of water, because this is going to activate the glue and the paint protective film. I have a kind of an upgraded squeegee. I bought this from the same company that provides the clear bra stuff, just a little bit larger than the one they include. You want a good supply of clean microfibers, really clean microfibers, brand new ones if you got them. Inspection light might be handy at the end. You might be trying to see if you got the edges exactly lined up perfect. And then this was basically when you order the headlight covers from, I used the company called invisiblemask.com, and I bought the thickest, the highest end 3M Scotchgard paint protection film. They send it, it'll be rolled up in a bag, and they actually include a little squeegee. It's just a card with a flexible rubber edge on it. So this might be all you need. You don't have to necessarily go get the an extra squeegee. And they also include this little brochure. Down here they tell you about the creating the tack solution. That's this alcohol solution. 32-ounce bottle, 4 ounces of 70% alcohol, 24 ounces of distilled water. And whatever brand of paint protection film you buy, follow their instructions. But this is for the 3M Scotchgard material. So, oh yeah, the clear bra itself. So if you come over here and look on the hood, I stretched it out already. It's going to be really impossible to see, but maybe in the reflection of the light. Essentially, there's 2 outlines of clear material on this backing material, and I've kept this in the house. It's a cool day today. I'm out in the garage. It's about 50 degrees. You'd want this to be as warm as possible just to make your life a little easier. And so I don't know if it shows up on there, but basically there's an outline here for the right headlight. There's an outline here for the left headlight. And there's even little outlines for the water squirter, the headlight washer material stuff that are included. So let's get started. All right, well, the first step in getting the paint protection film installed is cleaning the headlight surface. We're essentially going to be sticking down a clear layer on top, so anything that gets trapped underneath will be there until you destroy it and peel it off. So you're going to want to wash your car, and then even after you've washed your car, there's a likelihood that when your car's been waxed, there's been wax that's come out onto the surface. So the instructions basically say to take your alcohol solution, and we're going to use it as a cleaner to begin with. And we're just going to spray on the alcohol solution. Tip, don't spray towards the center of the car, because then you're going to get alcohol solution on the rest of your painted surface. So I'm spraying out towards, away from the body. And alcohol will strip wax off. So you don't want to get a ton of it on your painted parts. It's not going to like peel off the paint or anything. It's not harmful, but you may have to touch up the wax, or we may notice that it needs a little more wax around the edges. If you're ceramic coated, no big deal at all. So you can be generous with this if you want, but you just want to make sure that you've got it completely cleaned. And by doing that as well, now that my microfiber is a little damp with the alcohol solution, I'm going to get right in the groove. Now the film isn't going to go in there. It's going to go up to the edge, the step edge of this plastic. But you just want to make sure you don't have any wax anywhere. And we're going to do your headlight cover as well, because they give you a piece, or your headlight washer cover, which is painted. So just done it all really good. And then while you're doing this step, I'd say go do the other one too. So with the alcohol solution having cleaned it and it's ready to go, the next step is you worry about your hands. You need to have absolutely completely clean and grease-free hands. So I've already washed my hands in the sink with soap and water. And now I'm actually going to take the alcohol solution and just drench one hand. Wipe them up, take a microfiber, dry them off real well. All right, so my hands are dry now. So we're going to start handling the sheet. And like I said, the first thing I want to do is figure out which one of these is for my right side here. And so I can see the outline for the headlight washer, and I can see the narrow end. That all lines up, so I know this is my piece of film for here. And I'm going to just move around. So you have to drench, you want to have this completely covered in solution when you start handling it. And you basically want to get your hands completely wet. You don't want to work with this dry because we're going to peel the big sticker off. Now this has adhesive on it, and the alcohol activates the adhesive even more. So I'm even going to get my fingers a little wetter and get this hand a little wet. So now I'm going to find an edge, just get it to start lifting, and so hopefully that shows up on camera. As you're peeling it back, you're supposed to continually keep wetting it. And now it's leaving behind the headlight washer, which is what I wanted to do. I'm going to install that later. So everything is wet. My hands are wet. Keep drenching the piece. You definitely don't want to get this on the floor because it's wrecked if you do, because this is basically covered with adhesive. I'm going to carefully lay that out. All right, so now I got my big wet sticker and I'm spraying this. You want to keep it wet because it's going to slide around, which is what you want while you're positioning it. You just throw it on there. Now, if you're doing a big panel and you read the manuals, what you're going to find is they go, oh yeah, they suggest using a soapy water solution in one bottle and just use the alcohol solution to tack it down when you've got it final positioned. Well, on something as small as this headlight cover, that's really a waste of time. And their instructions actually talk about that you can skip that step. So what I'm doing now, if you want to come in close, is I'm trying to get the edges of the sticker close, but not sticking over. It's getting a little tacky, so I'm going to punt and just soak it down again. And it slips around, so you want to kind of start working on getting it into position where we're not overhanging the plastic. It'll basically, we'll stretch it. Then when they build it, they make it so it will stretch to the exact right size. So this is a little fiddly. And the bucket's here so I can sit in my butt. And one of the places you have to sort of really plan around is the headlight sprayer. So, you know, that's one of your main areas. And it's a curved surface, so I think what I'm going to do, because I've not done this before on this car, so I'm actually going to start at the headlight sprayer, because that is a really complicated spot. And I'm just going to get it perfectly aligned at the opening for the sprayer. And then I'll work away from the sprayer with the squeegee. And I'm going to spray a little more water in here. And the alcohol just starts evaporating, so you know, that's what. So don't worry, you can peel it back up. I don't know if it's visible on camera, but we can see we're a couple of millimeters short that direction. Which is normal. It's supposed to be short. Now this stuff is made to stretch. Well, and which is good. And if you're doing this on a warmer day, it'll be a little easier. There we go. I think I have that about right. I'm going to recoat the rest now. I'm going to take my squeegee and just going to press. So once you put a little pressure on it, it starts to stick, like stick. So but once you've decided you've got an area and you're ready to tack it down, just do the area itself. All right, that worked. Okay, I'm going to start speaking for a bit. All right, well, I finally got sort of satisfied with the alignment around the opening here, and then the light helped. And then I stretched it straight across to here, and it actually worked out well with the overlap. So now I'm going to work one direction or another. You want to be worried about the other side drying out. So what's useful is to, while you're going to work in one area, no harm in just letting that area sit wet. And then this is the area I'm going to start to really finesse now. So this is a matter of a little bit of stretching. So the first line I went was across there. Well, now I think I'm going to come from that tacked area straight down this way, trying to get this to stretch just till the plastic stretches out now, till it's right at the nose. And I probably stretched it about 3 or 4 millimeters. And once I'm happy, I'm going down the sort of the ridge portion here, tacking it. And then it'll stay. And keep your top surface wet, because as your squeegee is rolling across it, you need to be sure it can slide. And you're basically working all the air bubbles towards the outside edge. There, so I'm getting a nice edge now going on. Now I have some material here and bubbles, so we're basically just going to keep working our way down. And now, I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera, but there's some little, maybe with the light, there it is. There's little areas that are like sticking up. They will tack down eventually. As this dries out, it'll just be adhesive left. So see, it's flattened and gone away now. But if it comes back, see there's one coming back because there's some excess material here. Don't sit and fret about that one spot right now, work on the rest of it. And then at the end, we're going to come back around as things dry off, and then we'll be able to tack it a little bit more. So you can see I've got the whole front nice and clear now. I'm going to do the big area. So again, I'm doing a big stretch down what I'm considering the center line. So I'm just trying to get it stretched out and tacked. So now it holds it while I can work the sections. And again, I'm going to pull it and squeegee as I'm doing it, getting the air bubbles out. And you know what? This is one of those projects, if you completely F it up, you can always just peel it off. You've got a grand total of $75 invested or something like that in the paint protective film. It's not the end of the world if you have a bad day. But you can see I'm starting to get this section nailed down. So I've got this top section to go. Pull it towards the outer edge, tack the center of that area back. Now, if at the end you end up with a little bit of material overhanging the edge of the glass or plastic area here, you would be able to come back, you know, I would wait a day or two till it was all glued down, but you could come in with an X-Acto blade and just trim off any overhang. So don't worry about it if your alignment isn't exactly perfect, if you've stretched it. So just make sure you got all your bubbles worked out. Now, if you got this far and you decided, oh, I got it in the wrong place, you can peel it off. You just would start, and you don't want to stretch it much when you're peeling it, but you could just carefully peel it back and you could take another shot at it. So I've got, you know, basically these little spots are popping up at the edges now. So what we want to do is dry it. So take a clean, dry microfiber and keep wiping towards the outside edge. What we want to do is get rid of the excess moisture that's sitting at the edge of the light because it's wicking back under and keeping that one area damp so we can still move it. So we're going to dry all the edge stuff. All right. And now I'm going to come along, and this is really a good advice. They really want you to, where paint protective film fails is at the edge. So you want to come down and really put a serious amount of pressure working the edge the whole way around. Even though it looks stuck down, they want you to do a fairly strong last centimeter or so press. That really gets the glue bonded down to the plastic. Mosquito. There we go. So now I would watch for the rest of the day for these little triangles to come up at the lips. Not unusual. Just have your tool and just come back and press them down again. The glue takes about a day to set, really set up. I wouldn't go out in the rain right now. You want to give it an overnight in the garage. But basically now we have this beautiful UV resistant, so your headlights won't yellow. You won't get rock chips and scratches because the paint protection film is going to take the hit for you and save your expensive headlight pod. And that's the whole point behind this. So now you've got this beautiful smooth paint protective film. You can wax paint protective film. You can do anything. So when you're treating your car, doing its usual maintenance, if you get some wax and stuff on here, don't worry about it. But if you're using a mechanical polisher, a dual action orbital polisher, remember there is a little edge right here, so you don't want it to catch it and peel it away. So just be aware of that while you're using any sort of mechanized wiping or polishing machine. There's a lip here. So I am going to put on this little piece now. We'll do that in fast forward though. All right, so I don't know if, obviously if you're on camera, that just looks, you can't even tell that sucker is there. It's just beautiful when this stuff works out. But still it's got edges, so you have to give it the hard press to really tack the edge down. But you saw me as I put it on though, there really wasn't anything to worry about for stretching it. It's just a sticker, nice flat surface area. So I don't even know if you can even tell it's on there based on the camera. Anyways, that's all there is to it. When you're done, you might notice some small areas where there is a bubble or some trapped solution. Don't use a pin and try and pop it. The pinhole will last forever. Let it settle for a week or two, just out in the sunlight, just drive the car as normal. Usually the trapped fluid or air will eventually breathe through the material and the film will look perfect afterwards. Once you're done, your project should look, ta-da, kind of like this. You can't even tell that there is clear bra material on here. If you're running your fingernail along the outer edge, you can just tell it's there. But when you look at it, it is absolutely crystal clear. It looks like the thing is polished and has a new coat of wax on it. So that's exactly what it should look like. Now you can take some satisfaction in knowing it's a job well done and that your headlights are well protected for years to come. More information about the parts and processes I used are available on the companion blog at aston1936.com. You can click on a link to that in the lower left-hand corner. My latest video on whatever I'm working on will be up here in the upper right. And if you'd like to receive automatic notice of new videos, please subscribe by clicking on the link in the bottom right here. And as always, I'd like to hear comments from you. If you could please leave those down below. Thanks for watching.